First $34 billion, soon to be up to 50. Now, in an interview with CNBC, Donald Trump says he's out to hit China with tariffs on $500 billion of its exports to the US. That would place a huge tax on almost the entire value of Chinese exports to the US. Trump wants to ramp up those duties in retaliation for what he calls unfair Chinese trade practices that he blames for widening the US trade deficit with China. That's the US buying far more from China than it sells. The Trump administration says deficits harm the economy, even if the US is enjoying some of the best sustained growth for years. China, denying US claims, has hit back with its own tariffs on the most valuable American exports, including soybeans and cars. And it's done a few numbers of its own.
China is the biggest consumer market for the U.S. companies Apple and General Motors. Qualcomm Incorporated gets 58% of its revenue from sales in China. If China exports clothing worth $450 US to the U.S., the Chinese company earns 5% profit, while the U.S. side earns 84%.
These two interdependent economies have yet to resume trade negotiations, while U.S. retailers warn consumers will ultimately bear the brunt of higher prices. Owen Fairclough, CGTN, Washington.